So we're going to work on a couple of very important things. One of the important things is going to be learning their name, which I know sounds easy, but it's super important. So you want to make sure that they get that really, really well. You know what? If you want, just so speed up, just so you guys can learn a little better, why don't you all switch positions? And then you can just sit right over here. Not that it isn't good to have socialization, it's just that one thing that be able to learn too. Okay. So learning their name is what we're going to start with. Sit, very, very important. Also, come is very, very important. And then there's some other things that we're going to work on too. One thing that is probably, and let me say too, we're going to give you sheets before you go home, so please don't leave without getting them, because it is going to talk about all the things we talked about today and a couple of other things that we may not get to that are equally important. Most important thing you should know when you're working with your puppies, whatever you want to see repeated in the future, you want to reward. So let's say your puppy is jumping up, and this is where the jumping up sometimes gets to be a problem, or biting or doing anything. If you pet the puppy, or let's say you try to do the opposite, and you go, stop it, doesn't matter which thing you're doing, the puppy sees that as that's fun, that's a reward. So we think when you're saying, no, stop it, that should be enough. But they don't really understand that. They just see that you're excited and you're matching their energy, and therefore, whether it's a bite, a jump, anything, if you don't want to see it repeated, don't reward it. And that doesn't just mean, again, that it's positive reward. Even negative is attention that they're going to want again. So if they are doing something that you do not want to see, you've got a couple of choices. And some of those choices are to ignore it, which is perfectly fine. So let's go back to, okay, they're jumping up. You can just walk right through them. You can turn around, get your back to them. Or you could throw a toy. You could do something to get their mind on something else. Or worst case scenario, you walk out of the room because they're biting or they're jumping, and all of a sudden they don't have any attention at all, and they're really sad. So then they're going to think to themselves, wow, that didn't go quite the way I wanted. I did not get attention. Maybe I don't want to do that again. You probably have to repeat that many times. But if you do want to see something, then you immediately reward it. Don't wait. Don't even wait a split second. So let's say you get your puppy to listen to its name, immediately reward it, reward it, reward it. If you say sit and they sit, reward it. Also, when you're saying something like sit or down, those are things that you only want to say the word once, because you're asking them to do something. You're asking them to do an action, and if you repeat it 10 times, then suddenly they think, well, gosh, I got a reward because it doesn't matter if it's 10 times or one time, I got the same reward. So say it once, or if you think they didn't hear it, you can say it twice, but then reward them immediately when they do it, or move on, because they did not get that, okay? So you want to reward immediately. However, if you're telling them to stay, or you're telling them to wait, or you're telling them to drop it or leave it, things that are maybe the opposite of action, you're telling them not to do something or to stop doing something, that you can repeat. So when I say stay, I'll say stay, and then I'll say stay, and then I'll say stay, and that's perfectly fine because I'm asking them to continue to basically not do something. So that's the difference. So you want to kind of keep those things in mind. And it does not matter how long you've had your puppies. If you've had your puppies a couple of days or weeks, well, wow, you guys, the great thing is they don't have any bad habits, so it makes it super easy for you to work with them. If you've had them, let's say, 6 months or even a year, they've got some bad habits, but it doesn't matter. The beautiful thing about dogs is they want to please us. change things today and show them how they can please you walking out the door here, and you bring that into your home, then they will change immediately. You have to be consistent, you have to be patient, make things fun. They're puppies, it is fun. But you want to be as calm as you can and set rules. When a puppy or an adult comes into your home, this is important, it doesn't matter if it's an adult or a puppy, they want to know who is the boss of the home. Because for a puppy, a boss is also the protector. So they want to know who's going to protect them. And if you don't show clear signals that it's going to be the people in the family, the puppies or the adults start to think they have to be the protectors. And that is a really, really difficult role. So in trying to be that protector, they sometimes become overwhelmed. That's when the anxieties come in. That's when they're a little afraid, like you saw with Skeeta, to come into a room. That's when they have separation anxiety. So it's really important that they see that you are setting clear rules, you're sticking to those rules, and you're also being calm and patient, because that's what a pack leader in a dog world is a very calm and patient being. So those are some of the things that we're going to work on, and I'm going to show you how to achieve some of the things. But we're going to start with just some fun, getting rewards for things. And I'm going to get you our treat container just so you'll have the treats and you won't have to leave. I can get them. So